Welcome back, everyone, to episode number 79 of the Beginner to Master Speedrun. So, if you saw my last episode, I did lose my second game of the whole series, but hopefully I can come back strong today. I'm coming into today rated 2339. And before we get into the chess today, I do have exciting news to share. I'm again partnering with the website chessmood.com, and I'm giving access to their whole site completely for free. All you have to do is use the link in the video description, chessmood.com/Rosen. And from November 20th through December 20th, you can get access to over 500 hours worth of their video courses. They also have over 10,000 training quizzes. And it's a great catalog of educational chess content. They have a whole series on boosting your rating to get to the 2000 level. They also have very extensive opening repertoire courses for beginners, but also for strong players like myself. So I really hope that this will bring you some value, and big thanks to Chessmood for doing this promotion and allowing me to share it with you guys. So with that, let's get this party started, and I'll hop into the first game. All right, first opponent playing Stuffy Stuffy. I'll play my usual Queen's Pawn opening, starting symmetrically. G3, this is a interesting move order. White's trying to play a Catalan. I'm just going to play a reverse London. One of the most solid approaches against this opening from White. And yeah, we're rattling off the opening moves pretty quickly here. This is a first decision moment. Queen c7 is maybe most standard, but there's also Queen a6 to then play b6. I think Queen a6 is completely acceptable here, because Queen c7 would be hit with Bishop f4 and I'd lose more time. With Queen a6, even though the queen looks a little bit weird here, okay, White wants to maybe punish me with this move. Wow. I was going to say that the bishop committed to g2, so the queen is safe, but White's undeveloping and threatening this move. So, do I have to play pawn b5? Bishop f1, wow. I wonder if I was supposed to play queen c7. I can't really play this because I lose the pawn. If I play b5, I mean, there's a4. Wait, b5, a4. I think I'm okay there. I can take and queen c8. It's not super pretty, but I don't see any other viable move than b5. Opponent is higher rated than me. So definitely have to be careful here. If en passant, I don't mind taking back with the queen. I mean, normally I'd like to take back with the pawn, but then there's e4 hitting my queen and my bishop. So White goes for a4. Yeah, definitely under pressure here. I really thought it was going to be a solid opening. I complete development quickly. I am considering sacking, like pawn b4, take rook b8. There's actually the idea of queen a5. Queen a5, bishop d2 doesn't look great. Queen a5, bishop d2, b4, knight a2. I'm losing the pawn in that line. But then maybe I have knight e4. Perhaps it's a valid sacrifice. I'm going to go for this. And with this, I'm maintaining the pin on the A file, so white can't take. I think this is the most natural move. I'm definitely violating some opening principles, having moved my queen now 3 times, maybe soon to be more times. So, yeah, this pawn's a goner after knight a2. But I'm kind of relying on the fact that I'm getting some nice activity in the center. The queen will eventually drop back, and then maybe I can use the b file. Every pawn lost is a file opened, or at least a half file opened, or a half open file. Not sure the right way to say that. And white's pieces are a little bit awkward. Like white moved the bishop back, knight on a2, bishop on b4. Not super harmonious. White now pushing the a pawn, maybe preparing this move. Let's start with rook b8. I'm looking at the idea of pawn e5. Try and break down the center. There's also maybe the idea of sacking, like takes, takes, takes. Pressure f2 and b4. I also might be threatening queen takes a5, which white's allowing. It feels weird. Like takes, we trade queens. I do win back the pawn in that line. But do I really want to open the a file for white? I don't think e5 is actually that great. It doesn't have a clear threat. Taking on c5 doesn't look great either. So if I take on a5, what is white going to do? If takes back, I think I'm happy. Unless my rook gets stuck, but b2 is attacked. Oh, there might be takes, 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 and then knight b4. It gets really messy. I take b2, I lose c6. I think I'm just going to play safe, bishop e7. I was really hoping to like manage my time better this game, but position just got really crazy really quickly. So bishop g2 back. So if I take on a5 now, take. Again, knight b4 in the end. I think maybe after I castled, then I can be ready to take. There's also like rook b5. So take. What about a6? Just preventing white from playing a6. It looks kind of slow, but take. Knight b4, rook c8. Okay, I'm gonna go for this. I was very hesitant there. Also just realizing, is this a move? That might be playable. As crazy as it seems. I guess then I can take back. So white offering the queen trade like this. I take. Yeah, let's trade queens. a5. Preventing knight b4. And I think I just want to double up on the file by offering the knight trade. Could take first. Knight a4 coming. Let's start with this. Yeah, we're trading a lot. Take, take. I think these trades are good for me, though. Because now I get this e5 break in. I'd really like to attack this pawn. Maybe bishop f6 first. I could move forward. This could be a long grind. I'm down about 4 minutes on the clock. White's bishop is a bit stuck. We might see b3, bishop b2. And then I have rook b5. I think I want to go for h4. Bishop d8 also, like, the bishop is probably better on c7. And at least it's a position I can play relatively quickly. Oh, the bishop's going to reroute here. Okay, preemptively defending the pawn. Yeah, white's actually very solid here. And b4 is coming. Wow. Am I in trouble? Might be losing the pawn. I'll go for this. Yeah. I don't think I could have stopped that. I'll play knight a6. I'm going to lose a pawn, but yeah, the knight will get to a6. I should say knight b8 first, and then knight a6. I'm down 2 pawns here, but there's positional compensation. I'm not sure how optimistic I am. Maybe I can gradually improve. f5. f3 is a good move, by the way. f5, I think, is kind of necessary. Yeah, focus is shifting to the king side. And white's created this wall with the knight and bishop. So it's hard to actually infiltrate on the queen side. Rook f2 coming. Ooh. Yeah, rook f2 and rook f1. Not actually coming. It's a slightly annoying move, though. So we're trading. I take. Not thrilled with this. I want to win the h pawn. That's actually a really interesting endgame. So if takes, I'll be threatening b4, c knight b3. White defends. So if I take on h4, I have to try this. Not liking the looks of it though. White has the 2 pass pawns. I have this move. Let's try this move. "25 seconds. It actually should be drawn, but not sure. Wait, I'm winning. Wow. Oh, wow. White overpushed. What a crazy first game to start the episode. This sometimes happens when players get a little bit too relaxed, maybe a little bit too focused on the time situation. Had just enough time there. I think there's been a few moments like this in the speedrun where I've had to checkmate with so little time. But yeah, that was 91 moves. Let's unpack this game. So it started as a very solid opening. And then, I mean, I'll say that Queen A6 wasn't specific prep, but I've seen this idea in other positions, usually after white castles. And I see the engine here doesn't like Queen A6 because of Bishop F1. So maybe it's a type of thing where I can only play this move, or I only should play this move if white's already committed to castling. Engine says queen takes b3 is best, and it's close to equal, maybe a slight advantage for white. But bishop f1 is very strong. And I played b5. I actually have another move here, which I didn't consider. Bishop e4, which prevents pawn e4, and maybe give the bishop pair. But b5 is the best move according to the engine. a4, engine says e5 here. yeah, things could have gotten probably even crazier than what happened. Going forward, I lost the pawn, got some compensation. And then bishop g2 is a blunder. Ah, oh man, I missed a move which I saw in a previous position. I think around here I was saying that maybe there's ideas of taking. I was only looking at the ideas of targeting f2 and b4. But in this specific position, after white played bishop g2, knight takes c5 works because d3 is weak. And after knight takes e5, I'm hitting the queen and I'm threatening the discovered fork, hitting the king and the bishop on b4. And black's actually much, much better here. Yeah, that's a big miss. And it's the type of combination, like you just need to calculate 2 moves and see the threat. Yeah, at this point, I think I was more focused on trying to make this move work. And I went for the safer approach, but then I was just worse. And in this moment, queen takes d5 is a possible move. I think I was going to take back and still be down a pawn. Engine says queen b5, queen takes d7, rook b7. And white would sack the queen, but white's still a bit better here. Okay. Yeah, we didn't go into that. Queen a3 was played. And then, yeah, then I was feeling pretty good. But white continued to play quickly. And at some point, I lost my a pawn. Bishop d8 was a mistake. Engine says g5. I thought bishop d8 was flexible. But white's play was very natural, doubling up rooks, going for b4, and I'm just worse. I still kept the blockade. And going forward, I'm still trying to like understand how I won this game. White was on the verge of winning around here. Had some very good endgame technique. Engine says c6 is completely winning. c6 takes. How is white winning this? Knight c5, knight c7. Oh. The a pawn advances. I'm too short to get or too slow to get counterplay. Yeah, in the game, I got my pawn to b4. It still wasn't super simple for white. And Engine says white's completely winning still. It says knight d7 here. Yeah, the knight can reroute here and then prevent me from playing g5 or pawn g4. So if I play g5, oh, this is even stronger. Oh, wow, this is Zugzwang. Black has no moves here. My king's completely stuck. My only legal moves are moving the knight, which would hang the pawn, or losing my g-pawn. So that would have been a really nice idea from white. My opponent probably should have slowed down a little bit. And then, yeah, once we traded g-pawns, I think the position is actually closer to a draw. Because white's king is a bit boxed out. And the knight can't really do much to help the c-pawn advance. So going forward, and let's look at the turning point. Eventually I got my king back. 15 seconds at this point. And white made the terrible mistake of putting the knight in the corner. I didn't realize this in the moment, but the knight's actually trapped. I'm controlling all these squares. Or not the square, but yeah, knight to the corner gets the knight even more trapped. So the only drawing move for white is to sack the knight for the pawn. And this should be a draw. I mean, maybe white could have dirty flagged me if they went for this. But yeah, yeah, thankfully I had just enough time to queen my pawn and checkmate. So, yeah, long game to start the episode. Let's keep it going, and I'll do another. Okay, next opponent. I don't think I'm going to pronounce this username. Let's play a Sicilian. And yeah, knight c3. I'll play knight c6. Maybe we'll transpose into open Sicilian. We do. Accelerated dragon. This is one of the openings that's covered on Chess Mood, a very extensive repertoire. But this line isn't super common. Like, white's already given me the center with the trade on c6. And I think I just want to complete development. I play knight f6 too soon. It walks into e5. Well, let's play d6 first, and then I'll look to develop in a hopefully harmonious fashion. This opponent is also playing super quickly. Looking at queen a5. Looks like a very typical move. Apply pressure, maybe support bishop a6. White has a choice which side to castle. Pawn a3. So I wanted to play bishop a6, but that walks into b4. And yeah, I would be losing material there. So a few things come to mind. I mean, rook b8 looks interesting. Might still walk into b4. There's also c5. c5 might be the most useful move. Yeah, let's start with this. Because maybe the bishop can find happiness on the long diagonal. I do have to watch out for this move. There's some tactics with the in-between move, knight takes e7 check. And for that reason, I might play rook e8. Yeah, rook e8 I think prevents any of these tactics. Okay, white is maybe very clearly showing their intentions. I don't think I'm scared of b4. I might play this anyway. Then knight d5. And there's some benefit of preparing pawn c4. Okay. Yeah, it seems like a small concession, but okay, white plays queen e2. I really want to get this move in pawn c4. Maybe I can play bishop e6. It looks like an innocent developing move, but has a pretty big threat to it. Trapping this bishop. White doesn't fall for any tactics. And I'll probably go ahead and trade. Yeah, take. I'm just looking for my follow-up. Take in rook c8. Just making sure my queen's defended, like a b4, and then I can safely take. And it's still a solid position for both sides. I'm trying to figure out what my plan is going forward. Maybe gradually improve queen c6. And the central expansion with e6 and d5 could be eventually playable. Another idea is to maneuver the knight to d7, unleash the bishop, and bring the knight to b6 or e5. Just looking at this, white could play this, but then I play this. I'm thinking I just start with queen c6. Just a slightly more useful square. Crushing e4. Do I provoke the trade? Might as well. I don't think I'll mind a bishop versus knight scenario. Yeah, and the knight does come to d5. I'll move back. So now it's very good my rook's on e8. Otherwise, I'd get pretty brutally forked. Now, yeah, c3. I mean, can I go for... The issue with e6 is I don't know if I can easily achieve d5. Knight's coming back to e3. Could maybe go for a5, a4. Yeah, I'm down a little bit of time. I feel like I'm managing my time better than last game. Yeah, my plan now is, well, never mind. I was going to say create the backward b pawn. But now, yeah, if I take, we trade some more. I think in the end, I'm going to play e6. This might be a hard position to win. I don't see what else to go for. Yeah, we'll trade queens. I'm thinking e6, knight e3, rook b8. b5. b5 is okay for me. But yeah, this is leading to more trades. Oh, there's almost a tactic. Okay, let's... Yeah, I can go after the pawn, b6, rook c6. Let's go for this first. I think this might be useful to include. Give my king the g7 square. But yeah, this is simplifying a little bit more than I wanted. And it's knight versus bishop. I maybe allowed some knight g4 eventually. I'm attacking the rook. I'm ready to take the pawn next. There's also cases where white's back rank could be vulnerable. And taking away the getaway square from the king. Okay, let's take. Knight g4 is not played. I think h5 makes sense. I shouldn't be in danger of losing this. Although the knight is, I guess, technically a little bit preferable over the bishop when pawns are all on the same side. Like if we each had an A pawn, then the bishop would be much better than the knight. But unfortunately, that's not really the case here. I think we're trading down even further. I don't see a great square for my bishop. Can I play this? G3 rook. Maybe this is worth a try. Thinking G3 rook B4. At least some counterattack. Knight's currently restricted. If takes, I mean, it looks very drawish, but white's pawns are a little bit weaker. I cut off the king, threatening this now, maybe. My rook got trapped in the end there. Okay, white is sacking a pawn. Take. I'm going to win the h-pawn. Let's start by taking and play rook h2. I think this is like a theoretical draw, but I'll try and make white work for it. This is really the best I could ask for from such an endgame. Oh, I was about to blunder. Rook h3 loses on the spot. Wow. All right, let's walk up my king first. Ooh. King g1 is coming. Oh, that's so clever. I think it's just a draw now. Unless I play this. King g1 take. No. Well played. I'll try and grind it out a little bit more. You never know. h4. I really thought I was going to win the pawn. Rook d4 was a great find. So king is cut off. I'm really not sure where my chances are to win this. If white keeps my king cut off, it's really hard to find a way of making progress. I'm trying to bait white into doing this, which is still a draw. Maybe I can try and trade rooks? Or what if I walk around? The problem is I'm so low on time that I don't think there's going to be much hope of creating chances here. The only idea I see is king h6 g5 and put my rook here. Okay. I mean, this is kind of what I want. I mean, rook g5 is probably coming. At least we have some transformation. Okay, this is really what I want. White maybe got too comfortable? No, it's still a draw, though. Hmm. If takes here, it's, I think, winning. Oh, that's clever. Oh, wait, I have to be careful. Oh, no. I think I maybe messed this up. Okay, I'm 16 seconds. Okay, it's a draw. Yeah, I didn't quite create enough chances in this game. I guess I'm fortunate not to lose on time. Maybe with proper technique, my opponent could have dirty flagged me. But okay, I think that's a second draw in the speedrun. Um, I mean, overall, I think it was a pretty solid game. Maybe I had chances to create a better imbalance in the middle game. Actually, yeah, after Queen D2, I think I was actually playing too quickly. I castled, but I missed the opportunity for Knight G4. White should have played H3 before Queen D2. And here I can, yeah, target the bishop. I guess it still requires some precise play, like bishop f4, queen b6. Engine giving knight a4, queen d4. Okay, this isn't entirely clear. I castled. Engine likes d5 here. Maybe another move I should have considered. I saw queen a5. It looked thematic. I went for it. Going forward, yeah, unfortunately, I really didn't get much. We traded down. I was trying to get in a4 and then the double up on the b file. But white was very timely with pawn b4. And then, yeah, this is pretty much completely equal. I just want to look at the moment where I thought I was winning a pawn. White played this temporary sacrifice. I could have taken twice, but then there's rook d5, and I lose back the pawn. So I played this. Yeah, rook d4 was a great find. And then I guess I'm very fortunate I didn't take here walking into this. I think there was a game a few episodes ago where my opponent could have set up this trap, and I had looked at it in analysis. So this idea was maybe slightly fresh in mind. But yeah, the rest of the game was just a draw. So can't complain too much. Lost a little bit of rating, but let's keep it going. We'll do one more game. Definitely some tough games today. I mean, I probably should have lost the first one, and then this last one, I really didn't have much winning chances. But it's the nature of the chess journey. Just have to take away the lessons. I'm black again, so I've been black, I guess, 3 games in a row. I'll play another Sicilian. And I'll play the same line. Another Accelerated Dragon. This time we're having a more main line, except Bishop d3 is not the most common move. I'm not sure if there's a way to punish this move. Like d5 is a move I definitely want to keep an eye on. But I think I'll just castle first. Okay, h3, preventing any knight g4 ideas. And now, yeah, d5. And this is one of the reasons for playing the Accelerated Dragon is I haven't committed to d6. d5 seems like it can be played in one go. I mean, white could maybe take, and play e5. I probably don't mind that. Center is opening up. Okay. I'm just calculating if takes. I don't think I can take on g2. White can then take on e7 with check. But if I just take back, I mean, b2 and g2 are hanging. Could also take with queen. Yeah, taking with queen is actually maybe slightly preferable. Keeping my pawn structure intact. And I think white saw this diagonal, but probably didn't see this diagonal. So I'll take. And there's no queen f3 or bishop e4 to defend an attack. Rook f1 is almost forced. I can take another pawn. Yeah, why not? So white is ready to castle queenside. Now I do have some ideas here of moving my queen and then having the discovered attack against the rook. Actually, queen h2 traps a rook. So I just go and win more material. I think I do. Queen h2, white would probably castle, I take. And then the queen will eventually drop back. Yeah, for some reason this move didn't come to mind immediately. I was looking at retreating moves, but it's important to control these squares. White will maybe try and use a file. And my rooks want to join the party. So probably rook fd8. Okay, white is setting up this move. White's also maybe threatening to take, but I wouldn't mind if the b file opens. So yeah, let's just come back to e5. Question the bishop. If takes, I'll play rook b8. And bishop d4, it would defend and attack. But then I'm happy to give back the exchange and win another pawn. And black is up rook and 2 pawns for bishop here. Yeah, let's simplify. I could throw in the check. But there's no need. I like the idea of keeping white's king on c1. There might be some other checks to consider. Okay, again, I have rook c8. I don't think bishop h6 does that much. There's also this move. There's this move. This move has some idea of maybe f5. There's also queen a4, attacking a2. I'm taking some time here. I kind of like queen b6. Looks like one of the safest options. Defend, pressure b2, keep pressure against f2. And rook c8 will probably come eventually. Oh, white does hit both pawns. But now the back rank is more vulnerable. And let's start with rook c8. I just want to get a queen to c1. Bishop h6. How is white defending? Let's find out. White could play a3. But then I'm looking at rook c1, king a2, queen e6, hitting the rook and the king. There's rook d5 there. White goes for bishop c2. I play this move. Rook e7. I could play e6 actually. But that walks into queen f3. And white's kind of defending. I could move back, but then back. What about bishop g5? It looks a little bit awkward, but let's go for it. Simply defending the pawn. In the future, I might want to just run down with my h-pawn. Okay, f2, I think is takeable. There's rook d2, but then I take. I hit the bishop too. Just making sure I'm not missing any weird things. There's some funny lines, like if rook d2, I could maybe take on c2. Okay, this is force mate. Okay. I just want to show, the rook d2 would have the idea of hitting the rook on c8. But then I can take on c2 and say, oh no, my queen. And if white takes it, it's checkmate. So, yeah, at this point, it's completely winning for black. And I think that was the cleanest, smoothest game on my part for this episode. Accelerated Dragon, white played a harmonious looking setup. I mean, just putting the pieces in the center. But this pawn break with d5 was already quite nice for black. And yeah, going forward, white was just a little bit slow to develop and defend everything, the center opened up, the B and G pawns were hanging. It's already winning a pawn in this position, and then it just spiraled downward for white. I don't think there's much to analyze in this game. So I think I'll wrap it up there. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the games today. If you have questions, do leave them below. And if you like the content, do subscribe. Just help the channel. And don't forget about the Chess Mood promotion as well. Link below if you want full access to their websites. And stay tuned for more. I'll see you guys soon.